Welcome to XRP Focus. I hope you're all doing well and having a great day. Before we begin, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss important XRP updates. Your support truly helps this channel continue delivering clear and honest insights. Tomorrow could mark one of the most pivotal moments for XRP holders this year, and the community is bracing itself for what could be a game-changing market move. At the center of all this is the 2026 Ripple Escrow Unlock, a scheduled release of tokens that has investors, traders, and analysts closely monitoring supply dynamics. This time, Ripple plans to release 1 billion XRP from escrow accounts, a number large enough to create both excitement and caution among market participants. While a significant portion of these tokens is expected to be immediately relocked, even a fraction entering circulation could have substantial short-term effects on price action. Historically, escrow releases have triggered noticeable volatility, with traders scrambling to interpret the flow of new supply and its potential impact on market trends. Those who have been following XRP for years know that every unlock comes with a unique set of challenges and opportunities, and tomorrow's event is no exception. Market sentiment has been particularly intense over the past few weeks, with social media channels buzzing with speculation about how XRP will respond. Analysts point out that the key factor is whether the newly unlocked tokens remain in holders' wallets, get transferred to exchanges, or are immediately re-escrowed. Each scenario carries a very different implication for both short-term traders and long-term holders. For instance, a sudden influx of XRP onto exchanges could apply selling pressure, causing price retracements, while mass relocking signals strong confidence in Ripple's ecosystem, which may encourage accumulation and support bullish momentum. Charts show that XRP has struggled to consistently surpass the $2 psychological level, and the interaction between unlocked supply and market demand will likely determine if tomorrow finally pushes it past this crucial threshold or reinforces resistance. In addition to token flow, the timing of the escrow unlock coincides with heightened attention from institutional investors and crypto funds. Many of these entities track XRP closely, using algorithmic and macro strategies to respond to supply events. Their actions could amplify market movement, making tomorrow a day of unusually high trading volume and volatility. Moreover, market participants are analyzing not just XRP price charts, but also on-chain data, wallet activity, and network metrics to anticipate potential outcomes. This level of scrutiny highlights how significant tomorrow's unlock is, not only as a scheduled event, but as a potential catalyst that could reshape sentiment across the entire XRP ecosystem. Beyond price considerations, the unlock is symbolically important for XRP holders because it reflects Ripple's ongoing commitment to transparency and predictable token economics. Escrow schedules were designed to prevent sudden inflation of circulating supply, giving investors confidence that tokenomics remain sound. Still, the market is inherently reactive to large-scale movements, and traders are weighing every detail, from the exact number of XRP released to the potential for secondary market activity. Social media sentiment, forums, and community groups are filled with speculation, ranging from short-term trading strategies to long-term adoption scenarios. The excitement is palpable, and even those who prefer to hold passively are aware that tomorrow's events may redefine their portfolio strategy. All eyes are also on the psychological impact of the escrow unlock. While some holders see it purely in financial terms, others understand that events like this set the narrative for market confidence. If the community interprets the unlock positively, tokens staying in wallets or showing strategic re-escrowing, it could reinforce bullish sentiment, encourage accumulation, and trigger discussions about the next phase of XRPL adoption. Conversely, missteps or unexpected movements in unlocked supply could spark caution, prompting profit-taking and short-term sell-offs. For XRP holders, understanding both the quantitative and qualitative dimensions of the escrow unlock is essential to anticipate how tomorrow may influence trading behavior, price action, and community sentiment alike. Ultimately, tomorrow is not just another day on the calendar for XRP holders. It is a defining moment that could influence the token's trajectory for months to come. Between the billions of tokens in escrow, potential market reactions, institutional involvement, and the ongoing narrative in the XRP community, the factors at play are complex but critically important. Those who watch closely will gain insights not only into immediate price movements, but also into the broader adoption and growth of the XRP ecosystem. The next section will explore the upcoming XRP Community Day, Ripple's roadmap updates, and how these announcements could amplify tomorrow's impact, showing why this period is shaping up to be unprecedented in XRP history. The excitement surrounding XRP is not limited to escrow unlocks and supply movements. Another major factor fueling anticipation among holders is the upcoming XRP Community Day, scheduled for February 11, 2026. This annual event has become a focal point for traders and investors because Ripple often uses it to reveal key partnerships, ecosystem developments, and strategic roadmap updates. While the exact details are always kept under wraps until the official announcements, speculation is already spreading across social channels, with analysts, crypto influencers, and community members debating what could be unveiled. In previous editions, Ripple has demonstrated its commitment to both institutional and retail adoption, and the expectation is that this year's updates could significantly expand the use cases for XRP, potentially impacting price action and market sentiment. Among the topics being discussed is the potential introduction of advanced XRPL features, including enhanced DeFi protocols, programmable smart contracts, interoperability tools, and lending platforms. These upgrades could transform XRP from being primarily a cross-border payment token into a multifunctional blockchain ecosystem capable of supporting a wide array of financial services. Traders and investors are keenly aware that announcements of this scale can create ripple effects across the market, as increased adoption often drives liquidity, trading volumes, and institutional interest. The market is already pricing in some of these expectations, which adds a layer of volatility but also opportunity for those who can anticipate how the news will influence both sentiment and on-chain activity. The Community Day is also significant for the psychological impact it has on the XRP community. Each time Ripple highlights real-world partnerships, technical improvements, or ecosystem expansions, holders gain confidence in the long-term vision of the network. This confidence often translates into accumulation and reduced selling pressure, as investors perceive XRP as a token with concrete utility rather than purely speculative value. The combination of technical upgrades and strategic announcements also serves to attract institutional players who are looking for regulated, high-utility assets. With more capital entering the ecosystem, both the price floor and liquidity improve, reinforcing bullish narratives and creating a foundation for sustained growth. In addition to potential ecosystem expansions, analysts are paying attention to how Ripple presents its adoption metrics, developer engagement, and partnerships with financial institutions during Community Day. These factors are crucial because they demonstrate XRP's trajectory in real-world applications, which is often what differentiates long-term winners from short-term market darlings. Past Community Days have had measurable effects on on-chain activity, trading volumes, and social sentiment, and this year is expected to continue that trend. For example, any announcement of collaboration with banks or fintech platforms could validate XRP's utility in cross-border payments and open doors for new financial products like tokenized settlements, lending, and yield-bearing instruments. The event is also closely watched for network upgrade announcements, which could further increase XRP's relevance in the competitive crypto space. Enhancements in transaction speed, scalability, security, and programmability make the XRPL more attractive for developers and financial institutions. Such upgrades have the potential to shift the market's perception, positioning XRP as not only a reliable payment network but also a foundational platform for decentralized finance. Holders who are monitoring these developments understand that announcements of this magnitude are not just temporary catalysts, they can set the tone for months of sustained market behavior. Social sentiment leading up to Community Day is already heightened. Forums, chat groups, and Twitter feeds are filled with speculation and anticipation, with some members predicting dramatic price movements depending on the announcements. While speculation alone does not guarantee results, the combination of escrow unlocks, institutional interest, and ecosystem updates creates a perfect storm of catalysts. Traders and holders alike are preparing for increased volatility, knowing that strategic accumulation or timely entry could have a significant impact on portfolios. XRP Community Day is far more than a symbolic event. It represents a convergence of technical innovation, strategic partnerships, and community engagement. The announcements and updates Ripple provides during this period are likely to influence trading behavior, market sentiment, and the long-term perception of XRP. For holders watching closely, understanding the implications of these developments is crucial because they could amplify the impact of other market events, such as escrow unlocks and institutional inflows. The combination of these factors makes this period one of the most closely monitored in XRP history, with the potential to reshape both short-term movements and long-term adoption trends. Beyond escrow releases and Community Day, the technical developments on the XRP ledger are generating excitement among holders and traders alike. Ripple engineers have been actively working on key upgrades that could expand the functionality and utility of XRP, moving it far beyond its traditional role as a cross-border payment token. Among the most anticipated improvements are privacy enhancements, programmability, smart contract capabilities, and integration of DeFi protocols, including lending and yield generation platforms. These developments are not minor updates. They represent a significant evolution of the XRPL, positioning XRP to compete with other major blockchain ecosystems in terms of speed, security, and versatility. Holders who have been following Ripple's roadmap understand that these upgrades could attract both developers and institutional players, creating a surge in network activity that may directly influence market dynamics. The potential introduction of DeFi on the XRPL is particularly noteworthy. Decentralized finance protocols, such as lending, borrowing, and yield-generating products, could transform XRP into a multifunctional digital asset capable of serving a wider range of financial needs. Analysts predict that institutional-grade lending protocols could emerge, offering stable and regulated returns for investors. This has significant implications for holders, as it could provide not only additional utility for XRP but also new avenues for accumulation and long-term wealth building. For many in the community, the anticipation surrounding these technical upgrades has created a sense that XRP is entering a new phase of adoption, one driven not by speculation alone but by tangible, real-world use cases. Developers and early adopters are watching closely, assessing how the integration of smart contracts and programmable features could enable innovative applications on the XRPL. These features could support tokenized assets, automated financial products, and secure on-chain transactions, all while maintaining the high throughput and low fees that XRP is known for. The introduction of these capabilities is expected to attract a broader developer community, which in turn can increase network adoption and liquidity. Traders recognize that network upgrades of this magnitude often precede price surges and sustained market growth, as broader functionality tends to drive both demand and investor confidence. Another element contributing to the excitement is the potential for interoperability. XRP's upgrades could allow the ledger to seamlessly interact with other blockchain networks, enhancing liquidity and enabling cross-chain financial services. This would position XRP as a key player in the broader crypto ecosystem, providing advantages not only to individual holders, but also to institutions looking for scalable, efficient, and regulatory-compliant solutions. The implications for the market are significant. As adoption grows and the XRPL becomes more integrated with global financial systems, the value proposition of XRP strengthens, attracting both retail and institutional attention. Social sentiment around these technical upgrades is already extremely positive. Community members are discussing scenarios where the XRPL could support a full suite of DeFi products, private transactions, and cross-chain interoperability, all while maintaining speed and reliability. This speculation, combined with the existing escrow unlock and community day announcements, creates a convergence of catalysts that could impact both price and long-term adoption. Traders and holders are preparing for potential volatility, but also recognizing the long-term upside if these technical advancements deliver as expected. In addition to the immediate market implications, these upgrades have symbolic significance. They demonstrate Ripple's ongoing commitment to innovation and to expanding the practical use of XRP. By positioning the ledger for DeFi, lending, and smart contract functionality, Ripple is signaling that XRP is not just a payment token, but a foundational asset for future financial infrastructure. Holders who understand this see the upgrades as a long-term bullish signal, reinforcing confidence in the ecosystem and encouraging strategic accumulation. Overall, the combination of escrow movements, community day updates, and XRPL technical enhancements is creating a highly dynamic environment for XRP holders. Each of these factors contributes to a larger narrative. XRP is evolving, adoption is increasing, and market participants are watching closely to see how these developments unfold. For those who are paying attention, this period represents not only short-term trading opportunities, but also a chance to understand and position for XRP's potential long-term growth and real-world utility. The next section will examine institutional interest, ETF inflows, and the regulatory landscape, showing why these factors, combined with the developments above, could shape XRP's trajectory in the months ahead. In addition to escrow unlocks, community day announcements, and XRPL technical upgrades, another critical factor shaping XRP's trajectory is the growing institutional interest. Over the past year, large-scale investors, crypto funds, and financial institutions have increasingly recognized XRP as a high-utility digital asset. This trend has been fueled in part by the introduction and adoption of spot XRP ETFs, which have seen significant inflows since their launch. These products provide regulated avenues for institutional participation, offering both liquidity and legitimacy to the market. Analysts suggest that this growing institutional footprint could have a stabilizing effect, reducing volatility while simultaneously creating a foundation for long-term price appreciation. For holders, the combination of increased adoption and predictable token economics makes XRP particularly compelling, as it demonstrates that the asset is not just driven by retail speculation, but by real-world financial demand. ETF inflows are especially noteworthy because they indicate confidence from professional investors who typically conduct rigorous due diligence before committing capital. The presence of institutional money can often influence market behavior, as these players tend to hold positions longer than typical retail traders and may deploy sophisticated strategies to manage exposure. For XRP, this translates to higher liquidity, more consistent trading activity, and the potential for sustained upward momentum. Traders closely monitoring the market understand that institutional accumulation often precedes periods of strong performance, and this is reflected in social sentiment, discussion forums, and trading volume metrics. Alongside institutional participation, XRP's regulatory status continues to play a pivotal role in shaping market perception. While the SEC lawsuit concluded in 2025, ongoing discussions about clarity and compliance in the U.S. and global markets remain important for traders and investors alike. Regulatory certainty is a significant advantage for XRP as it differentiates the token from other cryptocurrencies facing ongoing scrutiny. The combination of a clear legal framework, growing institutional adoption, and technical upgrades on the XRPL enhances confidence across both retail and professional investors. For holders, these developments create a sense of security, reinforcing the notion that XRP is positioned for long-term growth and adoption rather than speculative hype. The market is also paying attention to potential collaborations and partnerships with banks and fintech platforms, which could further enhance XRP's real-world utility. Ripple has a track record of forming strategic alliances that increase network adoption and transaction volume, and any announcements during this period could serve as catalysts for market movement. Traders and holders are aware that when Ripple integrates XRP into practical financial services, it not only drives utility but also attracts additional capital, both from institutions and retail investors. This intersection of adoption, liquidity, and network functionality is one of the main reasons the community feels that the coming weeks are critical for XRP's evolution. Social sentiment reflects this convergence of factors. Discussion forums, social media, and trading communities are all highlighting how escrow unlocks, XRPL upgrades, community day announcements, and institutional participation intersect to create a high-stakes period for holders. Analysts are pointing out that each of these events could amplify the others. For example, a positive community day announcement could encourage institutional accumulation, which, in turn, could support price stability after the escrow unlock. Similarly, technical upgrades increasing network functionality could attract more adoption, reinforcing the bullish narrative and building long-term confidence. The combination of institutional inflows, ETF adoption, regulatory clarity, and ongoing network development makes the current period uniquely significant for XRP holders. Market participants are closely monitoring all these moving parts because the interaction of these factors could influence both short-term price movements and long-term adoption. For those holding XRP, understanding the implications of these developments is essential. It's not just about reacting to daily price fluctuations. It's about recognizing the structural changes taking place within the ecosystem, the increasing involvement of professional investors, and the potential for XRP to become a more widely adopted, multifunctional digital asset. With so many critical elements converging, the weeks ahead could define the trajectory of XRP for the entire year, making it one of the most closely watched periods in the cryptocurrency's history.